Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and I'm sure by now you all think that I have completely abandoned my fish room because so much of my footage has been outside. The reality is I've just been spending a lot of time outside, and that's what's been really exciting and new for me, so I've been wanting to share it with you. I've also been traveling like a crazy person. I've been in New York City twice in 2 weeks. I went out to that bog like I showed you. I attended an aquascaping masterclass with Corey Hopkins, and then I also went down to DC to see a water lily festival, and I have a bunch more travel planned as well. So, be patient with me. I thought today that we would take a look around. I'd give you an update on some of the tanks. I really need to start working a lot down here as I need to restructure the whole fish room. It's just been really hard to tear myself out of the gardens. So let's take a look around and get started, and I will show you how all the fish are doing. Captain was feeling especially sassy this morning, so I needed to feed him right off the bat to let him calm down. And then I thought we'd just take a quick glance around and then look at some of the aquariums individually to give you guys some quick and dirty updates. Now, as you can see, Captain is feeling quite feisty and has an amazing appetite and is doing really awesome, especially for such an old fish. Super great to see how he has rallied completely and just doing really awesome from his scare late last year. Now, in most of the aquariums on this particular wall, I have fry in every tank. I come down here every early afternoon, do my water changes, feed the fish, take a good look around. I just haven't, frankly, been bringing my gear down with me because I've been so excited about all the things that are going on outside in the tubs and in the yard. But as you can see, everybody's doing really, really well. The big boys, as always, are begging for attention / food. I'm pretty positive it's just food. Doing super awesome. They are due for a water change, but they're always due for a water change because they're giant fish. Now, the nano corner is also doing well. I am having quite a bit of algae in the little tiny cube, but you can see that this really old aquascape, the fish are breeding really well, the wild guppies are looking good, and so far so good. So I thought we'd start first with the newest aquascape in the fish room, which is the aquarium that I put sand into and added my recent Panda Coreodoris. So far, so good. I haven't had any melt from any of the plants. I haven't had any issues. I've been doing weekly gravel vacs. I do have to move some of these larger rocks around to make sure that I'm getting any accumulated detritus that would settle between them out. But as you can see, the cories look great. The tetras look great. Everybody's super happy. The water's nice and clear. And the fish are doing awesome, and so far I think this is a really successful scape. I did add a hunk of pennywort that my friend Kevin gave to me, just because the little splash type tetras, these Pyrrolina here, were showing a lot of breeding behavior, and they generally lay their eggs way up in the water column, so I wanted to make sure that they had a spot to do so. This is the 75-gallon South American community of nanofish. As you can see, everybody's looking really, really vibrant and beautiful. I'm feeding them some Sarah O-Nip here simply because it brings out all the fish to my yard and makes it easy to get a really good look at them. I've also been feeding all my aquariums frozen foods as well as some live white worms in the past few weeks. Again, this aquarium is very low maintenance and I think pretty successful. I'm hoping that these orange laser cories are going to start breeding for me very, very soon. They are starting to look quite plump, so cross your fingers for me on that. As you can see, this aquarium does get a little bit of green spot algae. I haven't scraped the glass in probably 3 months, so that has just been added to my to-do list. But all the pencil fish are doing really awesome. I did move a half a dozen outside. The Shelly tank is doing great. It got a water change this morning. Everybody is active and bright. My shells are just green. Who knows why? I have about 5 different spawns in this aquarium right now. This back corner is always a hotbed of activity, and I always see fry there. But again, all the fish are doing really, really well, and I'm pretty pleased with how this aquarium is doing. Shellies are super fun to keep, and I encourage all of you to give them a try. This is the 55-gallon that housed my Impaichthes Carey, or the Purple Emperor tetras. I moved them outside, but as you can see, there's a bunch of fry here, so I have more fish. On that same row is my 55-gallon aquarium that is just chock full of dwarf catfish, most notably these Centromoculus Perugiae, which are the honeycomb catfish that I just cannot get enough of. Now, I'd like to do a video on sexing these little wood cats, as well as setting them up to breed. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to see a dedicated video on that. They share their aquarium with a ton of Coreodorus pygmaeus, as well as Coreodorus hastatus. And this aquarium is just super fun to feed because the fish just go bonkers. I mean, it's a literal maelstrom of catfish. Everybody gets along really, really well. But one problem with this aquarium is there are assassin snails in it, which can be an issue when you're trying to breed egg-laying species. Their cousin, these Centromoculus reticulatus, or the purple oil cats, are without a doubt one of my favorite fish in the fish room right now. I have probably 100 of them, and I just think they are so stinking cute, and feeding them is just such an absolute joy and privilege. I'm using ONIP now just so that I could get them in focus for you because they move so fast. It's like hard to get them in frame or in focus. They get fed a wide range of foods, worm heavy foods generally. Next door to them are my super tigers, which you can see are taking on a very blue body cast, which is kind of exciting. I have gotten a few babies from them, but nothing earth-shattering. I think I need to move their location in the fish room where it's cooler. The hill stream is doing great. I did, if you remember, move all the meteor minnows outside, as well as a lot of the brachydaniochaethet. The bamboo shrimp are doing great. The shiners are doing great. There are still quite a few chaethet in there. All the little lochies and friends, as well as the hillies, are doing just fine. My silver coolies are actually breeding, which is okay. These are ancient reticulated hill streams. They're doing great, and it's just a really rewarding tank. My super reds have come out of breeding hiatus, and I have generation after generation after generation of baby super red bristlenose plecos breeding out in this aquarium, which is super awesome. I'm not sure why they stopped for a while there, but they are definitely going again in full force. And the baby dinos, the little Polypterus delhesi, are doing just fine. I need to do a real update on them. But as you can see, everything is going just fine down here in the fish room. I just have a lot of work to do to get it where I want it to be. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys. Now we're just going to take a closer look in a few of the aquariums and enjoy some footage of some really beautiful fish.